American Legion Ambulance and American Ambulance responded to the area of Plainfield Pike Road, just east of Starkweather Road, for a reported two-car motor vehicle crash. Through investigation, it was determined that a black Toyota RAV4, operated by 23-year-old Christopher Colello of Moosup, was traveling east on Plainfield Pike when a white Kia Sorento, operated by 68-year-old Pauline Tessier of Moosup, pulled out of the Lighthouse Church of God. The Toyota struck the Kia in the front driver's side, causing the Kia to overturn onto its roof. It should be noted that Tessier had to be extricated from the Kia by the Plainfield Fire Department. Colello was transported by the American Legion Ambulance to Bacchus Hospital in Plainfield for treatment of suspected injuries. Tessier was transported by the American Legion Ambulance to Bacchus in Norwich for treatment of her injuries. The crash remains under investigation with Plainfield Police. Governor Ned Lamont and the town of Killingly announced recently that Frito-Lay is embarking on a $235 million expansion project at its Killingly manufacturing site in a plan that includes the creation of 120 new jobs in Killingly. Through the project, Frito-Lay will expand its existing manufacturing facility and warehouse, as well as add 2 new Cheetos manufacturing lines. This is the first time that Cheetos will be manufactured by Frito-Lay in Connecticut. The building expansion is set to begin in spring 2022, and the project is expected to be completed in the second quarter of 2024. The project will require local zoning approval, and the Killingly Town Council will receive an informational presentation on the project from Frito-Lay at its special town council meeting that'll happen on May 12th. In high school baseball over the weekend, Griswold defeated Lyman Memorial, avenging a loss from earlier this season by the score of 2-1. Evan Gilgenbach with a complete game victory for the Wolverines.
The 8:30 a.m. report has been brought to you by the Burns Agency. With offices in Dayville and Norwich, find out why you'll buy better at Burns.
All right, it's time to take a look at the forecast right now for Eastern Connecticut. Here he is, Paul Lash.
Good morning, everybody. Right now, the temperature downtown New York City is 57 degrees. Sunshine and a few clouds today. Could be a stray shower or thunderstorm possible. However, the highs will be around 75 degrees. But tonight, few passing clouds, lows around 49. For your Tuesday, well, sunshine and clouds with highs around 78. So temperatures are getting right up there, folks. And of course, for Tuesday night, few clouds, lows around 54. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Monday, 05/17/2021.
Yesterday's best rock today.
Listen online at LRF.
SNSN Radio.
And good morning, everybody. It's 8:35. It's Monday morning. We've survived another weekend, Paul.
Yes, we did.
And that's big for you, isn't it?
That's big. Every day's
big for you, Paul.
Every day's a winner.
Poor Paul. We've already in Austin. Is it not true that every time that Paul gets in there, first thing he does is bitches about something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you ain't wrong.
So
I did today.
No, what do you mean outside?
Yeah.
What'd you complain about today?
Sun.
Oh, the Connecticut sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's finance season in Eastern Connecticut, and just about every town right now is crafting their budgets or finishing them, and getting them ready to present to the residents of their town. So, with that being said, we have Tom Sinkewicz here. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well. And yourself?
I'm okay. Tom is the Board of Finance chairman in the town of Plainfield. And how long have you been the Board of Finance chair in Plainfield?
Since 2017.
So about 4 years now. So has being the Board of Finance chairman been what's it like in Plainfield? We're very familiar with Scott Davis, and Griswold and stuff.
Yep.
What is it? Is it a big challenge? Do you have the headaches that we have here? I mean, they're all bald even the women on the Board of Education. I mean, on the Board of Education too. But I mean, the Board of Finance. with a whole bunch of senior center, this and that or whatever. What's it like in Plainfield? Give us a lay of the land, if you would.
Well, it's definitely stressful and very time consuming, but I enjoy it just because long time ago I wanted to find a way to serve my town and to volunteer and figure out which way to get back, and that was one thing that I had looked into with former first selectman Paul Sweet. Is again, what are vacancies that are available and where is there a need? And I remember him telling me that Board of Finance is a very important board that has to come up with a proposal every year for the budget and present it to the town. And so he said, that's something, you should consider. So I decided to consider it and don't regret it, but it certainly has its, like I said, stressful times this time of year, pretty much between March and May. Almost every week, there's maybe a meeting or two pertaining to the budget that I got to attend, whether it's with the first selectman at his office, with the Board of Education, and then with the Finance Board, because we start to have more meetings on a weekly basis. So, but once we're past the budget season, it's not as bad. Then it's a matter of tracking the activity on the budget, finding if there's any inconsistencies, and certainly always raising questions of why. Why is it looking like we're going to go over budget in certain items? Why didn't we budget better? And always taking down notes as far as, well, we need to keep this in mind when we present the next budget, whatever next fiscal year that is, to try to be more accurate with our budget predictions.
Yeah, you're right, and I agree with you when you said that the Board of Finance, or what Paul Sweet had said, is probably it is the most important board in the town. Sorry, Kevin Cunningham, but it's kind of true. We've said it too. And I don't mean to keep reverting back to the Grizzle Board of Finance, like Scott Davis, but that's like king of the town. I mean, you have the pencil for the entire town.
We have a checkbook.
Right, that writes the checks.
Yeah. Also, Mike, is that how you hold pencils?
Like this?
Yeah, you go like this and just kind of. So I can't read your writing.
That's what I do.
Austin, here I took notes for you to what to cut out and what to keep in cuts and cues, and that's why it's just.
That's it.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah. So no, it is. It's you can say the most powerful board in town, but whatever, you guys control the finances, and even when the Board of Selectmen comes with their budget, you're the ones that have to either vote it up or vote it down, or say, nope, this is got to go back to the town. You need to cut this or that. I mean,
yep, that is exactly how it works. Basically, it's same thing with the Board of Ed. I would say, the three very important boards. Again, not trying to say, all boards and commissions.
We know how the pecking order falls.
We appreciate the volunteers, who go for all our boards and commissions, but basically Board of Education, Board of Selectmen, and Board of Finance, especially during the budget season, we're the boards that really have to make some of the toughest decisions. Yeah. And so what happens is, after the Board of Ed and Board of Selectmen present their budget to the Board of Finance, we could kick it back if we have issues with it. We don't necessarily always support it, and we might ask that you need to make a certain amount of cuts, $50,000 worth of cuts, 100,000, and so it just sends back to those respective boards. They got to have maybe a special meeting or a regular meeting and be like, all right, so the Board of Finance shot it down. So what are we going to do to make a certain amount of cuts and then present it to them again and see if this will go through? So in previous years, it has been a back and forth kind of game of still wasn't satisfied with it. And, what we've tried to do is to try to not, we don't want to create more meetings, and more time consumption. But at the same point, we need to take, in seriousness what the residents bring to us. And the residents bring sometimes a lot of good points that even us, in my case, we got 8 members on the board. But even sometimes we're not always, considering or didn't think of. And so we always got to keep that in mind when we're doing it, and try to make the best decisions.
So what happens in the case that you tell Board of Education, you need to cut this, we need to get to, flat or whatever percent increase or whatever, and they can't do it. And they say, Tom, we just can't do it. There's nowhere to go. I mean, has that happened? And if so, what do you do?
Yep. No, that has happened. And we will, on the town side, working with the first selectman, try to find if there's, things we can do on the town side. But the thing that a lot of people have to realize too is when you're looking at the difference between the town budget and the Board of Ed budget is in the area of 35 million. A lot of that being ECS funding from the state, but still, a very large budget to manage, and to deal with. But on the flip side, with the Board of Selectmen, they manage the 11 million side of the budget. So, definitely a huge difference as far as you only got so much to cut. And sometimes, as we've done in the past, we have to resort to our fund balance, our general fund for the town. And that's something that if you follow along, especially in recent times with a lot of the Board of Finance meetings, we tend to talk about the fund balance quite frequently. And anybody who's been following along in recent times know that we got different schools of thought, you know, in some of the Board of Finance members. Myself, I try to be very fiscally conservative, and I'm not all about trying to spend down our fund balance and get to a critical level where we don't have a lot of money.
Right. You can't. You got to be careful because, you know, then all of a sudden the town's credit rating comes into play, especially when it comes to bonding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it comes up during the audit, the annual audit. We're always looking at what are we at percentage wise and how, you know, what's their opinion as far as a healthy fund balance. And we've been doing pretty well in recent years, but other Board of Finance members, you know, may feel we need to actually be spending more out of the fund balance. So it's trying to find kind of that level of, again, I don't want to be overspending, but on the same side, it's there when we're in certain sticky situations, like you were saying, with maybe not being able to cut as much as we need to on the Board of Ed side. So how can we try to, you know, counterbalance that?
Paul?
Is this something that you guys have used in the past? I mean, we know it was a controversial issue here in town. People try to stay away from it, but have you guys actually used this for a project or something that
last year actually and last year, as we know, was an interesting year budget wise because the governor had a executive order which basically completely tossed out a lot of the traditional processes for towns and had a very expedited process. So we still, as Plainfield, I think we still did as good of a job as possible to make it available virtually. And I know we made ourselves available, made sure we know, please reach out to us. I mean, we still got to pass a budget, just not going to have as many in-person opportunities to do it. So anyways, when we did that, when everything was said and done and the budget passed, number of residents had said they were concerned that we were using quite a bit of money from the fund balance to fund school pension.
Yeah.
So it was 800,000 that came from the fund balance to fund school pension. So that was some feedback that we'd take into consideration that in the future, we need to not be relying on the fund balance to be funding obligations like pensions and need to consider other ways to fund that because it's not an option. You got to do it.
Is it kind of a crutch?
Yeah,
so to speak. It's there if you need it, but we don't want to use it if we don't have to.
Yeah, and our finance director has made, in many cases, has stated at the meetings that we actually have it's a little over 2 months worth of basically emergency funding. So, like if the economy was to completely tank and things were to cease, money wasn't coming in from like the state. Let's say Plainfield could go on for about 2 months and still pay our bills, and then after that, we'd have nothing left in the fund balance. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the things I always keep in the back of my mind is that, well, you may want to spend it, quite frequently. It's like I'm always thinking about, you got to always think about the worst case scenario, what could happen.
So my question is like, for example, you've been the Board of Finance chairman for about 4 years now, or four total budget cycles now?
4 budget cycles.
Okay. What do you do for a living? What qualifies you as the board of, to be on the Board of Finance?
So right now I work as a consultant for Senate Imaging Systems. We're a marketing, advertising, printing group that's right out of Plainfield. It's actually about 1,500 feet from the town hall, right near the Staples building. So very convenient. But I deal with a lot of customer service there and accounts. And prior to that, and Austin actually knows about this, is for many years I worked with the Boy Scouts,
right.
Which is actually a paid position. And I managed the business department. So the day-to-day finances for one of the most successful camps in the area, Jan Webster Scout Reservation. So got a lot of experience through that, even though it's a different area being the nonprofit, still a lot of basic accounting procedures and business management practices that come in handy for understanding how does a budget work, and how do finances work. So.
Boy Scouts are not there anymore, are they?
No, I don't think they're not there anymore. Right?
No, I think
Where
Webster?
Oh yeah,
No,
Jane Webster.
Webster?
Oh yeah. No, I mean they're not in too good a shape at the moment because they're still going through bankruptcy protection, and we're lacking a lot of membership and local donations and finances. So we're going through some rough times, but I mean organization's still there. The camp is actually one of the strongest in the New England area. Yeah.
Maybe they should sell cookies.
Yeah.
Actually, you talk about that because girls now are part of Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. So.
Well, we're going to go down a different rabbit hole if we start going there.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about the Plainfield Board of Finance and where's Plainfield going? I mean, you said it's a flat budget, so probably going to be a piece of cake tonight, I would think.
I think so. I mean, usually when I've looked at the attendance in the past, usually it was when we were trying to make even the slightest increase, even if it was only like a mil increase. That's usually when you would get the most people because they're not interested in an increase, so they're going to come out to vote
Sure.
it down. When you get a zero, as we've done a couple times that I've been chair, I mean, we'll still get a turnout, but it's not going to be a big group of against. It's going to be, they appreciate that we were able to keep it to zero. Still doesn't mean that they're completely satisfied with it, and that's the thing is I'll say it tonight when I talk to people on the side, and I say it all the time. I mean, if you got issues with the budget, I mean, you got to let us know. You got to let the Board of Finance know. My contact information's out there. Let me know. And I know there'll still be issues with it because, when people go line by line, department by department, they're going to look at it and be like, well, I appreciate you keeping our taxes down, not increasing. But on the flip side, why are you investing more in this department? Or why is this department getting more money and this one's getting less?
Mhm.
Now, they might think it needs to be the opposite. And so they're interested in more information. So besides myself and the Board of Finance, we also encourage them to talk to our everyday town employees who it's like they do this every day. You got to remember that on the Board of Finance, we're all volunteers. I mean, we do our best. We spend
Right.
a lot of time on it, but the people who really can explain it to the best to you are the ones who they do it day in and day out. They manage rec department, water pollution control, highway department, education, and so those are the ones that we really would like residents to reach out to and be like, so why did you need more money? Or why'd you need less? Not usually that question, but
Do you have sometimes where I should ask this first. Is the Board of Education budget an expenditure budget only?
Mhm.
Okay, so they don't count revenues in there. It goes to the Plainfield just into it as a line
well,
item.
they do
Like
account
sending town students.
they do, yeah, no, and out of town, yeah. They do track all that as far as the revenues and expenditures. But right now, what we have in place is a policy where whatever they have left over, when they have extra money left over at the end of the budget, they can keep upwards of 2% in a savings to carry over to the next year. So when they fall short, let's say in a different area, they can resort to this 2%. But it's important to note that that's been in process only for a matter of months. We had just talked about it and adopted that this past year as a Board of Finance, but we're still in the discussions right now as far as in the long term if that's going to be in place. But prior to that, it's important for everyone to know that whenever the Board of Education had extra money and they didn't have this 2% policy in place, it would automatically come back to the town and go in the fund balance.
Now, is that something the reason why you guys are kind of like still in the talking phase because there's going to be a new superintendent of schools coming in because DPHO is retiring or
right.
leaving? Yeah.
No, it's definitely going to be one of those items that we'll talk about certainly with our new superintendent to get his feedback on how he feels about it. But no, it's something that the Board of Finance has been talking about even before Ken officially announced that he was retiring,
Right.
because it sounded like it might have some incentives, but in talking to many people during this budget season, there can also be concerns with it because basically it's like a second fund balance is what it is.
Could be abused.
And
Right,
basically
right. Good
the
point.
way our auditor would look at that is that you have your general fund, your growing fund balance there, which is what people tend to pay close attention to, or whatever you're spending, and then you'd have basically another one that would be trying to build up, and it's like, but why do you have two? Why? And so that's how I know some people I've talked to have felt is that we already have a policy in place for our general fund balance, and that is if you don't have enough money in your budget and you need extra money and it's possibly going to come from the fund balance, you come to the Board of Finance, you make your case, and we have to decide whether or not we feel that it should be coming from the fund balance or if we want to deny it. So that policy, at least it's got kind of a check and balance to it, whereas the 2%, there's not a lot of details right now in place about how that works, so it's kind of open.
Do you have in situations where the Board of Education may come in with an increase, but then the town has to kind of decrease to kind of create that 0% balance?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of the balance of the balances in a way.
Yeah.
How does that happen? The reason why I ask is because one thing that never goes down, it always goes up: insurance premiums.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you guys balance that? I know it's redundant, keep saying balance, but
yeah, no, but I mean that is the way to put it, and that's what a lot of residents have to understand too, is that while we were able to move a lot of different moving parts in this budget around to get it to 0 mil, and we've done that, with past budgets too, it's not a guarantee. We can't assure that we're going to be able to do this every year, and
at least 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they still have the power. It's like no matter what we say, they can still shoot it down no matter what. But the thing that they got to understand is that, like you were saying, with increasing fees on everything from insurance,
Exactly. Sure.
we also have contractual obligations,
Sure.
and so it's like the unions are going to come forward, with a lot of these contract salaries, and like they're at 2% or 2% or 3%, and so basically they want to see us just make it happen.
Right.
And so we make
That's an uncontrollable expense. There's really not a lot you can do about it.
Right.
It's a fixed cost. You gotta
Right.
have it.
So we got to incorporate that. And then in the case of this, that was kept in mind because last year we did a spending freeze, which included raises. And so, I knew that going into this budget season, a lot of people did that, since you saw zero pretty much across the board last year because of COVID, it was going to happen this year. But yet still trying to keep it down to 0 mil. It's a very tough balancing act. And that's why, again, sometimes like we did with this, is the truth is the last, like, it was around like 90,000 that was still an increase that we had to, we figured out it could come from the fund balance. I mean, 90,000, out of several million. It's like, it's not as big as one would think, but it's also, again, as I was saying before, it's not something that we should be in the habit of doing every budget, every time.
Right.
So that's how we made it work this time. Is that what we're going to do next time, is continue to dip into the fund balance? Not necessarily. And personally, I hope not. I hope we can find other ways to be efficient. But at the same time, still trying to keep the taxes down.
That's got to be hard.
It is.
And I'm glad you mentioned that you guys are all volunteers.
Mhm.
All the men and women on the boards are volunteers in just about every town.
Yeah.
Not every town has a town council where some people are paid or whatever.
Right.
The finance chairperson and the town finance chairperson. Who's it, Kelly?
Oh, the finance director. Yeah.
In
Kelly
Plainfield.
Vachon. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Who Kevin Cunningham brought back.
Mhm.
So not everybody is paid. All these boards they're volunteers, and you guys get beat up. You guys get beat the hell up, and it's really not fair because they should sit on the board for a while
Mhm.
and see what it is like. So I don't live in Plainfield, but I appreciate everything you do, and I appreciate everything that Scott Davis does, and all of the people in both the towns. Because without you guys, I mean, the whole town would crumble, basically, and that's God's honest truth. So we know Plainfield is not crumbling anytime soon. So can you give us an idea where Plainfield is going as far as like a financial health is concerned? We know there are things that are coming into Plainfield that also play a part of that, and I was hoping maybe you could speak to that.
Yeah. No, I think we're definitely going in the right direction. I know, of course, a lot about our town history, and the truth is that economically, industrial wise, we have not ever recovered from the crash that was in the 80s. The 80s and 90s, where we lost major employers, major industries, Prevail Industries, Command, Interoil,
Right.
American Standard.
It's a big hit.
Yeah, and then
My dad worked American Standard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the dog track. The dog track was another, huge, it was a big item that, kind of publicized Plainfield's, like that got our name out there, big employer, big attraction. Just with all that gone within like basically a decade or so, we've never really recovered from that. So we were on a downward trend for quite some time. And I think that now we finally leveled out, and I think we're going in the right direction with, we got Amazon coming. It's going to bring hundreds of jobs to town. And then a lot of small businesses too. And that's the one where I know Kevin and I have talked about many times with people from Economic Development Commission, and try to figure out what can we do to better publicize the small businesses, the ones that not as many people know about. They're not necessarily big on social media. They have a page, but they don't check it all the time. They're not constantly tweeting or making posts, but they're there. They got like maybe 3, 4, or 8 employees, and we want to try to do whatever we can as a town to help them succeed. Most recent one was Joey's Seafood and More. We just had the ribbon cutting last week. And it's been amazing that they've had such an influx of interest from people wanting to get that seafood. Like they love their seafood in this area. They want it, and they've been basically running out almost every day that they've opened. They've tried to stay open until their posted hours, but they run out. So, I mean, to me, that's a good sign of here's an example of a small family owned business that is really, trying to take a shot at it in Plainfield, and that's the thing is from, so many years of kind of, being stagnant. It's like, sometimes it can be hard to try to attract a business to Plainfield, but they somehow decided this was a spot we wanted to try it. And it's great to see that, they're hardly able to keep it in stock because people are just buying stuff so quickly and like they want more.
So it's a seafood market.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, and we actually tried to. Melissa and I tried to go about a month ago, and I guess they had a soft opening.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, because we wanted to go out to eat one day. I said, "Well, you want to go to Putnam?" Yeah. No, I don't want to drive that far. Well, we understand that we know there's new Plainfield, there's new seafood restaurant in Plainfield. Let's go there. Okay. Not open. We were so upset because we ended up going to Riverview.
Oh yeah.
So we stayed in town, or whatever. But I'm excited for that place.
Mm-hmm.
I really am, because where else can you get that? I mean, like that. I mean, you can go to any restaurant and get a lobster. You can go to any restaurant and get, full belly clams or whatever. But
so nearest fish market like that, like what they have uptown is Ockham. Yeah, we have to go to Ockham.
Yeah.
so it's actually a restaurant seafood. You go in and can buy fish or scallops or anything you want, or is it just strictly a restaurant?
Yeah, what are you asking me?
I don't know. I don't know.
I just told you I couldn't get in the damn place.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you can buy, you could buy like the netted bag of clams. I think you can buy it, but you can also, you can sit down and eat. Because my dad's got there, and he's eating there. And you can sit down and you can eat, and you can order it and you eat. You
Okay,
order at the
so if
counter,
you want
sit
a
down
lot of
and
the
eat.
raw stuff, you can bring.
Yeah.
Let's go to lunch. I'll let you buy. Anyway,
We did see there's outdoor seating there, but from what I understand, their biggest thing that's been making them run out of everything has been the to-go orders. People taking out has been the big thing. And my guess is, from looking at it from a business perspective, is they're starting off, obviously soft, and that's what people got to understand is, you're not going to, especially seafood, something that's like you have very limited time as far as how long you can be holding on to it. So they're trying to take, baby steps here. Like clearly there's certain things that tend to go, very quickly. So I'm sure over time they'll increase how much they have available. And right now, again, it's been pretty much to go orders, but maybe they'll expand more, as far as what they have there for people to just buy.
I would love to have something like that here.
Yeah.
That's
So
sounds good.
So, what? I would keep it alive myself.
I was going to say, you want, people are over the moon in anger about bringing quiet computers into a small town. You want to bring a big bustling fish market? That's how they're going to pitch it to you. It's just going to be a nice small restaurant that sells seafood. Oh, it's going to be a big bustling fish market. We don't have any ports around here. We're not a port town.
Lobster claw shells everywhere.
Yeah, come on. It's going to stink. Wow, man, it's going to be so bad.
Everyone's going to start talking like Vince McMahon, It's going to be terrible. You all think it's going to be good.
He's climbing up on the cage. Good God.
Yeah, I would think Amazon coming in is going to spin off
Nice
small
boost, yeah.
businesses.
Oh yeah, and of course, the idea of it's you bring a lot of workers here. Hopefully, people will want to, if that's their long-term career, they'll want to relocate, move closer, into town, and then also they'll be helping contribute to the economy, getting gas, stopping at restaurants. And so the hope is too, and I guess a trend that has been looked into is that typically when an Amazon warehouse opens in an area, there's other businesses who are like, this is an opportunity, that we should maybe look at setting up close by. Another thing that's been very successful in the past year is we've had in Plainfield a lot of our empty industrial park lots that have just been sitting there for so many years. We got a lot of long-term businesses that have been in the industrial park for many years, but these sites that have just been sitting there, it's like, what are we doing with them? And so that's something that Kevin has been looking into, and the Board of Selectmen.
He's been very aggressive about that, hasn't he? Yeah.
And the Board of Selectmen has been approving that, as well as the Board of Finance certainly was on board with, let's do something with these lots and hopefully sell them off. And we'll see some other businesses coming, in the future on those lots.
And what happens there? Well, it helps the tax base. Keeps it at zero, or will the taxes ever go down?
No. Taxes will never go down, of course, as we know. But as far as being more stable, tax base for the town, I do think that that's the direction we're going. I just hope it continues. It's not going to stop with Amazon. It's like and then this is kind of a segue into then another topic in town that Kevin has to deal with, which is the all of our brownfield sites. So again, like I was telling you, the Prevail, the Interoil, Command.
Right.
Unfortunately, American Standard was already dealt with. That's already been revamped and is now the Staples and the Morgan Trucking company down there. So that's been great.
Is this the same company as that owned the Amazon?
Oh yeah, that bought the same one that bought that
same-
property. Yeah, bought
Same
the,
managing
the dog.
firm?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
bought the
That's what I
dog
thought,
track. Yeah. So it's that's been nice to see that the old American Standard site, which was quiet for so many years. And that's kind of the interesting part too, is there's benefits. People got to understand what these businesses bring as far as a tax base and really help contribute to our local economy. But on the flip side, some residents kind of enjoyed the quietness, who live in that area.
Yeah.
They enjoyed it's like, but if you were around in town, 60 years ago, it's like it was booming, back then with
Well, a lot
American
of towns
Standard.
were-
Same thing with the dog track,
Sure.
people who live in that close by vicinity.
Right.
It's like, now it's going to be very busy.
And now you're
with-
getting pullback
yeah.
because they're used to, which is kind of Grizzle's kind of going through a little bit in the preliminary stages with the possibility of these data centers that could be coming into town, which are going to be located pretty much in the woods, but people are still have a lot of adverse reactions to them of
Complaints.
Mhm.
well, what if I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
we're looking at the some people are just looking at the negative for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of
That's
looking
true.
at the positive, but we don't know. We honestly don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
but I understand what you mean.
Mhm.
It's nothing set in stone.
It's also good to show people too that we do have other businesses coming to town besides $3 Generals that have come in recent times.
I heard 2 more were in the works.
Oh, no.
No, it's not true. No, Bueller.
They're gonna buy you out, Mike. Like, we
This
wanna
would be a
put
big
one
deal.
right
You
here.
got to talk to the bank first. I got nothing to do with it. So what I mean, we're talking about. So the special meeting is, or I should say, I'm going to screw this up.
town meeting?
Town meeting.
Yeah, it's tonight, 7
And
o'clock.
then whatever happens there, then you guys are
Yeah,
either going to
special
ratify
Board of
it,
Finance
and,
meeting,
and
yeah.
then you're on vacation.
Wish.
Does that
It's going to Disney.
Yeah.
is that pretty much what happens after if the
Again,
the-
if it passes, then I have a regular Board of Finance meeting on Wednesday,
right
19th, and so that would probably be something too that if tonight, if things didn't go well and it got shot down, we would have
Right,
that
right.
as a discussion topic at our regular meeting. It's like, so talking again about the fiscal year 21-22 budget that didn't go through, what do we want to do now?
Let's see. Just a couple of comments on the board here. Let's see. Trey Harmon says you're doing a great job, and Joey's is good, and they have a niche, which is very true. Donna says, "Are we talking about Joey's?" Well, we were talking about
Yes.
Joey's. That is true. And Maddie Garner, hey Maddie, love the fact taxes not going up. Sometimes it's not a good thing. Is it not? Because does that mean that maybe there's the town is not adding programs or things that other people feel they should be spending more money on?
In previous budgets, that is, and basically the way some people would look at that is, again, while the benefit is 0 mil increase, we're not investing into the town, into certain areas, departments that desperately need it. The difference with this budget is that we are in certain areas here.
Like who? What areas?
Recreation is an example. And one of the reasons why I
Very
supported
smart.
that is because recreation, of course, took a huge hit this past year.
Yep.
No pool open, no recreational activities. The kids in the area really need a lot of these activities, but also a lot of other programs too. The senior center, the senior citizens, they utilize the pool and stuff. So that was an area that we needed to definitely do a turnaround with.
You also have
and
a full-time
invest.
grant writer now
Yeah,
and a full-time rec
and-
director.
yep,
So there,
those two, right? So there are areas that when you look in there, we are investing into it, but that's the trick is like, you can't keep just spending the money. It's like, all right, we're going to get everything this department wants. We're going to make it better and better. But, oh yeah, we got to also keep the taxes down at the same time. It's like, it's that balancing act. And so same thing with like the police department. There were some areas that like in this year's budget, because it was going to have to be addressed sooner or later when it came to the communications issue. It's great that we were able to finally address that. It passed the recent town meeting.
Well, there was
so-
some COVID money that came in for that, wasn't it?
Right.
Basically,
And
that
so-
paid for that, yeah.
Yeah, so we were able to make that work. But the point is, let's say that money didn't come in and we hadn't, incorporated that into this past year's budget, it would have had to come within the next like year or so.
Sure.
And so that would have been a huge, up over $100,000 that has to go into, fixing the communication. So that's good to see, that's going to get addressed. The jail cells, I know that made publicity recently.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when people are plugging them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get a story that came over, I don't know, about a month ago or so. Some lady she got in there, she went batshit crazy and
Yeah.
just
Okay, I
plugged
remember
it.
now.
No relative, was it?
No,
All right,
no,
just
no.
checking.
I remember the story.
You know almost everybody, so I just want to make sure, it was plugged it up and everything.
Yeah.
And flooded all over those. Anyway.
I was just remembering the story because I was working here when that happened. Yeah.
Don't say working here. Then I'll have to. Then the state will be happy.
I was volunteering my time.
There we go. You're a good man.
There we go,
man. Anything else you want to mention about the? I'm sure there could be tens of subjects that you could mention right now, but is there anything else you want to get mention real quick about?
Just that again. I hope there's a good turnout tonight at the town meeting, because it really is one of the most important meetings of the year, and it's good that we're not going through another virtual budget season.
Right,
so.
right.
Still practicing, still being cautious, still being safe about things, but I just hope it's a good turnout. I hope the interest, of the residents is there, whether they're for or against it. I mean, I want to hear the feedback, obviously, if any, because the truth is even this past year, as things were lightly going back on restrictions and lightly, we definitely did not see the turnout at like the public hearing that we had for the budget and some of the budget meetings too. It's like, I remember past years we'd start seeing the increase of attendance. First it's 12 people, then it's 20 people, then it's 30 people. We didn't see that this year. It was the same, maybe 3 or 4 people in the audience at pretty much all of them. So certainly want to hear that feedback, whether people are for or against the budget, and all depending on the results of tonight. I mean, we'll make notes of it, and we're certainly always thinking ahead. And that's kind of what I joke about with the first selectman and usually the superintendent is that let's say this passes tonight, and then we have our budget for the next fiscal year. Once July 1 starts, to me, it's like, all right, let's start talking about, 22, 23. It may not seem far away. It may seem far away, but it's really not. And always trying to think ahead, because that's the other thing too, is in past budget seasons, we would start getting to this crunch time, and then people would throw out ideas or people would want to make changes. And it's like, it's kind of too late, in the process to be doing this. So it's like, let's talk about it, come over the summer. Let's have some light discussions on it, and again, make notes, because then before we know it, we'll be back in the budget season next year.
I want to address the comment before we have Scott Davis, who's going to join us, because Griswold has a meeting as well tonight. The Plainfield, Connecticut's Watchdog Media says this was not COVID money, not in caps. It was a line item from salaries due to not being able to hire during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, June, you're talking about
the police communications upgrade.
Right.
So, but yeah, and that's absolutely true. But the point is that if it wasn't for that COVID money coming in to be able to do the line item transfer, right, wouldn't have been able to do it. But yeah, it wasn't. The important thing to know is we didn't take the COVID money, didn't go directly to the communications, upgrade. It had to be the line item transfer to make it happen.
Got it. And that was, as a matter of fact, you guys had a meeting for a line item transfer, was it not? Okay.
Yeah, and then, we had a town meeting for it, and it got approved.
And then let's see. Maddie Gardner says, correct, Watchdog. They're watching you.
Always.
But that's Watch Cat. You can't do that. Tom, thank you very much for coming on by. Hopefully, I mean, you available to do things virtual as well if you can't make it in a.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's get together next month.
Okay.
After everything kind of goes through, and we can talk more about where Plainfield's going, and therefore.
Sounds good.
All right, Tom. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right. Tom Sinkewicz, the Board of Finance Chairman in the town of Plainfield, joining us this morning. We got Scott Davis coming up in a couple of minutes. He's going to talk about the Griswold meeting tonight. So it's Finance Week right here on SNSN.
You buy better. Better returns. Much better. So much better returns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better returns. You buy better returns. You buy better.
When was the last time you considered the benefits of having all your insurance handled in one place? One number to call, a licensed account manager dedicated to your policies, discounts for having your policies with one company. The list goes on. Did you know the Burns Agency has a team dedicated specifically to home, auto, umbrella, flood, life insurance, business insurance, including workers' comp and professional policies? We do it all. Call, email, chat us online today. Experience the products and service our loyal customers receive and appreciate. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better returns. Much better. So much better returns. Right insurance at the right price. You buy better returns. The flagship for Griswold High School sports, and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street, the borough of Jewett City.
The Streaming News and Sports Network, SNSN. As a business, your customers are your first priority. At Jewett City Savings Bank, their first priority is helping businesses like yours to succeed. Here's what John Felice of Boundaries in Griswold had to say about doing business with Jewett City Savings Bank.
When I contact the bank initially for a loan program, I explained to them that I needed something done in a timely manner. And from start to finish, the commercial lending team put it together and we were closed within 2 weeks. Several years ago, I needed a commercial line of credit to manage weekly business expenses in terms of payroll and things like that. They were very quick to set that up for us. They also refinanced a buyout from a former business partner and everything was smooth. Being a small business in southeastern Connecticut, there are many local banks that we have to choose from. Jewett City Savings Bank has been a choice for me that I've been happy with for many years, and I will continue to do business with them for many years to come.
To learn more about how the commercial lending team at Jewett City Savings Bank can assist you, call 860-376-4444 or go to jcsbank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, I'm Jess, but you can call me the Tire Queen. For the best deals on tires, come and see me at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Call me at 860-376-8687. But definitely don't talk to my dad. He's definitely not the Tire King.
And right now, Jess the Tire Queen has great deals and excellent service waiting for you at Advanced Automotive, Route 138, Griswold.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Make sure that we are good here. Hey, Scott Davis, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning.
You don't seem to be happy today.
Just putting a lot of fires out this morning.
You mean at your paid job?
At
Day of reckoning.
It's a day of reckoning. So I know you only got a few minutes because I know you're very busy at your actual work. Tonight is why don't you go ahead and can you tell us what's happening tonight?
Sure. Tonight is we have two meetings back to back, one tonight, one tomorrow night. Tonight's meeting is the public hearing for the budget. The public will have the opportunity to voice their opinions and comments with regard to this year's budgets as it is presented.
Now, that's a Zoom meeting too, right, Scott?
It is. In fact, this is the first public hearing that I'm aware of that we've had where it's obviously been Zoom.
So people are going to have to somehow with Zoom post a question or.
Yeah, there are some things that I've been looking at. I'm not a to be honest, Eric sends us the link. I log in and we do our thing and then we exit the meeting at the end. So I've been trying to do some research on that so that obviously we can, maintain some decorum and some procedure within the meeting and not have people just arbitrarily talking and talking over. That's going to be something that we're kind of trying to work through. So obviously I'm going to ask, all of the participants to please be, patient in that endeavor, because this is yet another hurdle that we've got to kind of traverse as part of this whole process. But I do know that Zoom does have a feature where you can raise your hand.
Yes,
maybe
you can.
So I'll probably talk a little bit about that at the beginning of the meeting, and I think that's going to be the way that we're going to try to approach that. That if somebody does wish to speak, have them activate that raise your hand component. Eric and I guess everybody else will be able to see that, and I think we'll kind of cue them accordingly. And then when it's your time to speak, we'll be able to, call you out by name at that point.
Right.
How do you expect it's going to go tonight? I mean, we've had some issues, back and forth with, of course, the senior center, and hopefully that has been put to bed. But I think it probably hasn't been.
Yeah, I mean, this the budget is really, it's independent of that. That's an issue that we had to deal with. We have issues that come up every year throughout the course of the year, that somehow we've got to figure out how, we can best deal with and mitigate. Some of them are more, more serious than others, or more costly than others. But those come up from time to time. The budget is really independent of that, and the process is really independent. And it's kind of the point I kind of drove home before, that let's try to compartmentalize things and act accordingly. How do I think it's going to go? Boy, anybody's guess. I mean, Mike, there have been some meetings where we've had 50, maybe 75 people in attendance on a good year. There have been some years, and I think wasn't last year, but 2 years ago, I think we had, if you took out all of those people that were somehow affiliated or involved with the budget, Board of Ed members and school members and people within the town hall and people that, department heads and selectmen, if you took them out, I think we had, 1 or 2 people that, that had attended. So very, very small attendance. I don't know. I try to stay away from social media as much as I can on that front. There seems to be from what I can see, a lot of conversation. So it could be largely attended. It could be more largely attended because we're doing it Zoom this year also. It seems that a lot of our meetings have had more people that have kind of popped in to see what was going on with it being virtual than those that would actually attend in person.
Can you briefly just kind of just review, just quickly, the percentages of the budgets?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, obviously, first time will be tonight. I mean, the easiest ones I can talk about are what we truly know as it comes out. The current proposed budget is $38,030,349. That's about a 3.8% increase from the previous year. Of that, you have, the general government side, which is just made up of both the capital and debt service. The debt service is going to increase under the proposed budget of by 0.59. The capital is an increase of 26.93%.
Wow.
So that makes your general government total increase of about 8.34%. The school budget was a 2.49% increase. So I guess it's important to note that the budget as it's being proposed is really presented in its raw format. We have not tweaked it. We haven't gone back and taken a look at anything. How do we reduce this? Can we move some things around? Can we eliminate things? What needs to be there or not? It is truly in its raw format, meaning that as it was presented to us is the way that it's going to be presented to the public. If it went through as is, for a house that it would be a 0.91 mil increase if it went through as is. For houses assessed at $200,000, that would be $182.44 increase annually. One of the I guess kind of wild cards, and certainly something that potentially is in play. I don't know yet to what extent is we are due to be awarded the distressed municipality grant. The makeup on that, I think, is there's some sort of a split there, and I don't know what it is. I think the final guidance, my understanding was from the state, was that it was supposed to come out today. A portion of that money can be utilized for capital. A portion of that money, at least preliminarily, we were told could be COVID-related expenses. Now, how that gets broken down and into what fashion, that's what kind of we're waiting on. In addition to waiting on final guidance, I think on the capital side, there had also been an indication that Eric had shared with us at our last meeting that a portion of that money actually also might be paid over a 2-year period as opposed to being paid over a single year period. But depending on how it all plays out, in a perfect world, if it were to all be able to offset like capital projects and whatnot, and didn't look to do anything extra, it was just what was existing, that could potentially result in a $500,000 decrease from last year.
So this is basically just to present to the town the preliminary budget that's in place, not necessarily a vote yet.
That is correct. This is really step one in the process, Paul. So this is let the townspeople be heard, and then we'll kind of move on from there. The next thing we would do is we'd actually start to work on the budget, tweak it as I kind of had mentioned earlier, to some sort of a final number that then would be forwarded to the selectmen for them to then set referendum.
So still ways to go.
We still have quite a ways to go, and interestingly enough, and I certainly don't want to cloud the issues. I mean, we're entrenched in it, this year, but there have been a couple of people that have reached out and, kind of the same thing, questioning the process. Where are we? Has anything been tweaked yet? And they've brought up some questions and said, how come you guys don't ever work on the budget and get it to where you think it needs to be to go to referendum before it goes to public hearing? Because then we could really speak to that budget in its almost finalized state where we're going to vote for it. And if we don't agree with what you guys cut, we can voice our opinions and tell you that we don't agree with, what you cut or where you cut from, or, hey, you didn't cut enough. And I said, I sat back and said, that's really kind of an interesting concept. This is, we're on kind of autopilot. This is the way we've always done it. But certainly I think that's some conversation for us to look at next year, that, gee, do we want to look at perhaps changing some of our processes, to say, look, maybe next year, maybe we want to tweak that budget based on, where we think we need to be, and let the public then talk about that at the time. And that may give certainly everybody a much better read on where things either are or where they need to be by the time it comes to referendum. Just like I said, kind of an interesting concept.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. I know you have to get back to work and stuff, and of course, 10-minute notice, boom, you're here. So I always appreciate you.
Yep. As always, do what I can for you. So thanks for having me on.
Thank you, sir.
All right, have a great day, guys.
All right, you too. That's Scott Davis, Board of Finance Chairman here in the town of Griswold. So we've had pretty much finance day.
Yeah.
So to speak. So. What do you think, Austin? Getting a little bit of an education as far as.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely taking a lot of it in and learning about it, and because it's stuff that I've never really looked too far into. Like I've looked into it to the point where I know, like, oh, this is that and this is that, but not to be like, any sort of an expert in the field. I'll never claim to be. So
did you notice both Tom Sinkewicz and Scott Davis? They both are very different in their approach, but they're both doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And their goals are the same, just doing it differently.
Yeah.
Plainfield's a little ahead because they're voting on the budget, where we're looking at a proposed budget.
Right.
Yeah, we're just better. No big deal. Whatever. No big deal. I mean.
It's like in was it Rocky 3? Was it? Yeah, Rocky 2.
Yeah.
Which one was it, Mr. T?
I don't know.
Was it Rocky 2?
Yeah.
Was that the second one, or was it? Yeah, because the first one he fought Apollo Creed.
Yeah, but
and then the second one was Mr. T, and then the third one was.
No, it was Rocky 3 because it wasn't it T and Hogan? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They interviewed Clubber Lang in the movie, and they said it's kind of like, what's going to happen with the Board of Finance, in the meetings tonight. It's like, what do you predict tonight, Clubber Lang? And he just looked at the camera and goes, pain.
Well, the Plainfield one is different because that's in person. People will be there. Here it's Zoom.
Do you think that makes a big difference?
Yeah. a lot of people, when you can't see them, will voice more, could be more negativity
Okay.
towards the group rather than, you know what I'm saying? It's,
Oh, sure. Yeah, I get that.
yeah. So
But is that a bad thing? It's now all of a sudden people are talking about how they really feel.
well, that's good. It is good because people need to express
Right.
how they feel, because that's that's what they want. They want their opinion on how
Okay.
they feel about what's going on with the budget.
So you
But-
feel, oh, go ahead.
No, I think it's a good idea because rather than hear it on social media and hearing it secondhand and somebody else's opinion, now you hear it firsthand and you've got the opportunity to voice your opinion,
Right.
you know, or if you can hear what other people's opinions are,
Right.
you know.
Where
and it-
people won't do that at a meeting at the Grizzled Middle School.
That's possible. They won't walk
Right.
forward to the microphone. Where if you're sitting at your keyboard, and they might
Yes.
might
Yeah.
just do that. Of course, you have to announce
true.
who you are.
Right. Right.
But you know,
I think.
go ahead,
Nope.
Austin.
Oh, I was gonna say, because I know, and it's good to get people talking, and it's good to hear people how they're actually voicing their actual opinions instead of just
Yeah.
stifling themselves and not doing that. But it's also you got to be careful with that because offering a lot of negativity and a lot of criticism without offering steps or asking about steps how to get there,
Mhm.
or even if you have any kind of ideas or anything like that, just being negative, that's not going to get you anywhere. But I do agree with both of you. Like, it's good in a way because more people are actually talking instead of just. So we'd like to
Right,
talk
right.
about the Board of Education's budget. Hmm. That is a budget, and that is for education. It gets people actually talking.
You know what I mean? He's right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you think about it. I mean, people won't go to a meeting. They won't go. They won't get in their car and drive over to the school or the town hall. Doesn't mean they don't care.
Right.
It just means they won't do it because either they're tired from their day and it's not something else I want to add onto my plate. The only thing I want to add onto my plate is a piece of chicken breast. I don't want to add this onto my plate.
Well,
too.
yeah. I would think too. There's a lot of people probably, the time of the meeting. What's it, 7:00, right?
Yeah. So isn't it much easier?
That's much easier. Just
Have
log
a
on
little
to your
dinner, a
keyboard.
little bit of
Yeah,
conversation,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to attend the meeting. You walk over there, or you flip open the laptop, or
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I think a lot of people may not understand what the hell we're talking about either. Because the pages, the budget itself is like 42 pages long.
No
You know
one
what I'm
wants to read
saying?
that.
So we all know that a lot of people didn't read 42 pages. They're kind
No.
of reading the summary. So that's what they're going to want to know.
So let me ask you a question. How many times did you pass a test after reading the Cliff Notes?
Yo, plenty of times.
Yeah.
There you go. So
'Cause it's-
what's the difference?
Bro.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there are people who will go through 42 pages.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would rather personally see people show up at a meeting or online and ask questions, whether you think or I think that they are good questions or not good questions. It doesn't matter. I think any question is a good question.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Yeah.
I mean, I just I think that if you're asking, it shows engagement.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you're engaging because you have the ability to join a meeting online, as opposed to joining a meeting by getting in your car, getting out of your car, finding a seat, looking around, feeling awkward because it's like, oh, there's Judy over there. Oh my God, I don't like her. Her kids suck, or whatever. They're bullies.
Yeah.
You know what? But that, I know I joke about it, but it's true,
Yeah.
and or you can just sit in your house, flip open your laptop, turn on your tablet, and boom, you're
meeting.
attending a meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are going to be people who have, there's going to be some part of the budget that people are going to be, that's what they want. Some people are going to be more towards the education budget. Some people are going to be more towards the town budget. Some people are going to be, people got certain areas of that budget that they're more concerned with. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, Now's your time to voice your opinions, but I think people need to be positive when they do this. They shouldn't come across as, beating somebody up. Remember, these are volunteers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, treat these people with respect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. I wanted to go ahead and get to something here. No.
So Paul, how's the yard?
How's the what?
How's the yard?
Oh, it's done.
Oh, that's good. I know you do a lot of yard work.
Done.
It's done.
Done.
Yeah.
No, just got to cut the grass.
So it's not done.
No, it's done, but that's my maintenance thing I have to do now.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got a lot of miles in.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
I wanted to share something here.
Yeah. Dead space. Yeah.
Well, no, you guys are talking.
Okay.
Yeah, we're filling that dead air.
We're filling that dead space.
You guys are doing it.
Yeah.
You guys are doing it. Take your time, do it right.
Yeah. What can I say?
All right. So here's something right here.
What is it?
It's the 5th annual Armed Forces Run and the Blessing of the Bikes. That's going to be happening on the 23rd.
Where?
Okay. It's going to be happening on the 23rd. I haven't said where yet.
Oh, I didn't quite hear you. What you said. I mean, it's like
the 5th annual Armed Forces Run and Blessing of the Bikes.
What the heck is he talking about?
Happening on May 23rd.
It's
where is it happening?
What's he talking about, man?
May 23rd.
Off on his own tangent.
It's gonna start. Here comes the where, Paul. Sunday, May 23rd. Location: the VFW Post 4908. That's in East Killingley. 1035 North Road. Registration is at 9:30. Kickstands up at 11. $15 per driver, $10 per passenger, $15 non-rider.
So this
for
is
dinner
this is a
tickets.
motorcycle run.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Food, entertainment, and raffles to follow the ride back. What?
I'm just.
He was because he asked motorcycle. I looked at him like, "What do you think it was? A pedal bike? What?
No,
Tour de
because
France."
well, I listening to his verbiage. Passenger. There's no such thing as a passenger. It's a rider. Riders. I mean, bike. I don't think they call people that are in the back of a bike a passenger.
Nope, they call it bitch.
Well, he said it. I was like, I don't think I can say that.
I don't think that's what they call them. So when you said passenger, I thought maybe you're talking about a vehicle.
Well, it could be. You know,
You
who
can ride
knows?
sidecar.
Sidecar, yeah.
As a passenger.
So anyway, it's May 23rd. It get there at 9:30 at the VFW in East Killingley. So there we go.
Okay.
So I wanted to just kind of put that out there. Oh, Laura, she says, thanks for sharing. And I say, Laura, you are more than welcome.
Yeah.
Glad, hopefully we helped.
These motorcycle runs are been around for many years. If you remember, Pappy's Run was the big thing.
Do they still do it?
I don't think Pappy's Run is still on.
It's not a thing anymore?
I don't think it's a thing anymore. I think they stopped it. Yeah. Yeah. Pappy's Run was it was done in May too, where people from everywhere on motorcycles got together and they would do a run and they'd visit. Pappy was a big motorcycle enthusiast, so and he passed away. So I think what they did is they visited his grave every year.
It was pretty amazing. They go up and down Route 1.
Yeah.
And it was like,
it's hundreds
and hundreds of bikes.
Yeah.
And then we also have a reason to ride.
Yeah, we do.
We do have the.
Do you know if that's running this year? Are they still doing that? We don't know. Haven't heard.
I don't know.
Whoa!
Oh,
You gonna make it over there?
yeah, I'm all right.
CPR.
Take a sip of coffee. Good Lord.
I think so. Anyway, we're going to take a break real quick. 'Cause I think I do need a sip of coffee or something. But anyway, we got a couple of new sponsors and supporters of the station. And one of them being SERAC, SERAC. They're a drug prevention group, an education group. And they one of their slogans right now is It's 21 Reason. So we're going to play that. And also, we're going to hear about the ECPAA, the Eastern Connecticut Performing Arts Association, the Jazz Fest. That's coming up. And keep it right here. It's SNSN. And please, we really would appreciate if you could and would patronize the sponsors. So that way we can continuously bring you, different town news and the people that make the news.
And our shenanigans.
And our, they don't care about our shenanigans.
Sure they do. Sure they do.
It's SNSN.
Gambling, tobacco, and alcohol are all legal for adults. For those under 21, providing these things can land you in jail. It's 21 for a reason.
Coming soon, visit SiracCT.org. The new online educational resource page, 21 for a Reason, is launching. This offers tips for parents, useful facts, and a pledge you can take to protect youth from substance use.
Brought to you by CIRAC and funded in partnership with SAMHSA. It's 21 for a Reason. Find out more at SiracCT.org.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, Project Coordinator of Grizzled Pride, your drug-free community coalition. We want to help you keep your kids safe during this challenging time. Social distancing is still in effect, and so is the social host law. Reports are coming in that teens are contracting the virus at underage drinking parties. Parents, allowing underage drinking on your property could land you in jail for up to a year, plus fines. Another reason why you should not provide alcohol to our youth. For more info, go to grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org.
This is Ray Churchill from the Eastern Connecticut Performing Arts Association, inviting you to join us on Saturday, June 5th for the Eastern Connecticut Jazz Festival at Urechko's Tree Farm in Griswold, Connecticut. 4 professional jazz bands will perform throughout the afternoon. Tickets are available at ecpaa.org. Relax outside and enjoy the best jazz, blues, and funk bands around. This is a rain or shine event. Feel free to bring coolers and baskets. Concessions will also be available. Please no pets. Gates open at 12:30 p.m. The Eastern Connecticut Jazz Festival, June 5th. Get in the swing.
Don't just wish for a winning deal. Make it dish. It will make it real. Don't just wish. Make it dish.
Hey everyone, this is Ellis Dish from Dish Motors. We're back better than ever with our new sales and service center on Route 32 in North Franklin. Everyone says there's nothing better than dealing with the dishes, and here's why. Selection. We have the area's largest inventory of off-lease, one-owner vehicles of all makes and models. You name it, we got it, or I'll get it for you at no additional charge. Quality. Each vehicle goes through a rigorous 120-point safety and quality check. Nothing leaves the lot without my personal approval. Convenience. We have financing sources for almost any situation. We offer on-site registration processing, and we have maintenance programs for years of stress-free ownership. And now open for all your maintenance needs. Our full-service repair facility, where oil changes start at just $19.99. Call today for your appointment or just stop by. So save thousands and deal with the dishes. Route 32, North Franklin. Or check us out online at dishfranklin.com or ring us 860-383-4750.
All right, let's take a look at the forecast right now for Eastern Connecticut. And here he is. He had one job. Just one. It's Paul Ash.
Good morning, everybody. Right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City is 63.
See? One job, Paul.
Wait a minute. I was going to do it in Celsius, then I realized I have to say it in Fahrenheit. So it's 63 degrees. Mostly sunny days to start, then a few afternoon clouds. Could be a stray shower around like yesterday. Remember yesterday I had a stray shower. Thunderstorm was possible. Highs around 75 degrees. But tonight, few passing clouds, lows around 50 degrees. But for Tuesday, well, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be sunny. However, there could be some clouds around. Temperatures will be somewhere around 78 degrees. So the temperatures are really warming up now. I think we're expecting to be in the 80s over a week. So it's going to be an excellent week. And for Tuesday night, few clouds, lows around 55 degrees. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Monday, 05/17/2021.
23 degrees.
No, that's Celsius.
All right. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Because when you ever came up, it's 23, and I'm like, nope. Paul, I'm pretty sure Mike would be complaining a lot more about the cold and the snow.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. The older I get, the warmer I like it. That's really, honestly true.
Yeah, you're aging.
Yeah.
You're aging now. Yeah. And pretty soon you'll be wearing socks to bed.
So you know what? Ryan Aubin just texted me and said, "Hey, why don't you share something?" And hey, Ryan, why don't you come on the show?
Yeah.
Instead of these random texts, like, you don't talk to me anymore, dude.
Yeah,
What's up with that?
Yeah, what's up, this Ryan?
Yeah, what's up with Ryan? You just, can you share? How about you come on the show, Ryan?
What's going on with him? I see him the other day out there walking his kids to the bus.
He's got kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan. What's up with that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a link right now, Ryan. Let's see if you'll show up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
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 Oh boy.
Guess what? It's free.
Hey, it's free.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk?
I'm gonna try to send you. Nope, that's not gonna work out.
Yeah. We definitely had an IT person. Yeah.
No, I just have it. Won't.
Pretty bad when you can't send an email.
Yeah. Oh, he's not even trying to send an email. He's sending it through Messenger.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying. He's trying his best.
Yeah.
It won't go.
Like, it won't go. Oh well.
I don't know. It's making me close a whole bunch of windows.
How many chat windows? Why?
It's just
I get that you're the talk of the town, Mike, but
no.
Good Lord.
I forget to close them. Is basically what happens.
Yeah.
So now click. Look. See one. Maybe if I refresh.
Well, you better hurry up.
Hey, running out of
Hey,
time.
what's the matter with you today?
Running out of time.
What is the matter with you
You're
today?
running out of time on your own show.
Yeah.
Mike, you may be the boss. You may own this station. But we have time limits here. The laws of time still abide by this studio.
Right. And we ain't traveling.
Oh man, I do have a lot of.
Got a lot of issues today.
Huh?
Yeah.
First with the.
I know he couldn't get that.
First with the encoder.
There we go.
Oh, he couldn't get anything going.
Yep.
Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and.
The audio encoder's giving us problems. Now Facebook's giving him problems.
Yeah. We got it fixed, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We did. Oh, I gotta tell you something. I was so excited. I am not a fix-it guy. I am not. I don't.
Oh,
Okay.
No, I'm really not. I don't.
Okay.
I can't fix crap.
okay.
At least I don't think I can. And then I don't try because I get frustrated. Right.
Yep.
I don't like building desks because I'll miss, parts or something like that, or I'll look and I'll get things backwards, or I'll just screw it up.
Yep.
I put a desk together over the weekend,
Hey, that's
Wow.
good.
and I did it.
Nice.
See?
That's good.
Okay.
Very good.
And my daughter and I yesterday, this was big for me. So you can mock me all you want, Paul. I can see it coming. You're looking like a Fu Manchu all of a sudden. Whoa, you're a funny boy. Can I do that? I don't
Go
even
ahead.
know.
So you put it together.
Yeah. I changed the headlight on my car.
Hey, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Some of those can be.
My
kind of
daughter and I did it together. Rihanna and I did it
Those could be-
together.
some of those can be difficult.
Yeah.
Huh?
Some of those can be difficult. Not like the old days, where Papa screws out a plate and it goes in. But
Yeah.
some now, well, actually, it's a little tiny bulb now. They just stick it in the socket, but getting to it sometimes is a pain.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently Ryan is oh, he goes, what's this? He's not even listening. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell him if you were listening, you would know.
Man.
Oh man. Hey, look, more dead air. Quickly, talk
Right.
about more things.
Right.
Your Audi. Talk about your Audi. Quickly. Say something.
Trying to get Ryan Ovid on, but he said it. So I sent him the link to join the broadcast, and he goes, "What's this?"
Another IT guy.
Oh, he's in the park fighting with an ATV.
Oh. How do you fight with an ATV?
Well,
I don't know.
Who threw the first punch?
I was about to say, well, typically
Yeah.
you stand in front of it and you punch it.
Yeah, that punching it just means turning the throttle.
Yeah.
Pushing the throttle.
Yeah, it's true.
Pulling the throttle, whatever it is.
Twisting the throttle.
Yeah. No, there's no twist on them. There's a little lever on them. Because I have a Polaris.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to.
I know on.
But he's got that little green darn deer thing that I thought he had. The little truck thing.
Okay.
That might
Oh,
be
like a gator?
Yeah, I think he's got like a gator.
Oh, okay. So then that's got a foot pedal then.
Yeah, I think that's what he has.
So I'm thinking of I was thinking like when you said ATV, I was thinking like a
No, I thought he had a gator. I thought that's what he had.
yeah. Which technically, yeah, is an all-terrain vehicle. So I was just thinking more like the quad.
No, I don't think it's a quad. I think it's a.
Yeah, that's why I was saying the
There
twist
he
throttle.
is.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Ryan Aubin.
Am I on the radio?
Yep.
Hi, how's it going?
How you doing, man?
I'm trying to set up for the thing Saturday, and our ATV isn't working.
See, what happened is that you sent me a message, said, hey, can you share this? Can you share this?
Yep.
And I said, why don't you just join the show, for crying out loud?
Oh, yeah, I did not catch that. But hi,
Yeah.
how you guys doing?
So tell us what's going on. What is it you wanted me to share?
Oh, just Saturday we're doing the concert and the community yard sale. You know how we used to do it with the Eggtopia? Well, we can't do that. So we teamed it up with a yard sale this year. And then we have 7 hours of music. It's 5 bands out in the park here at Veterans Park.
Very nice. Any bands that you want to go ahead and mention?
No, I actually don't. Well, can you see me? Oh, there you go. Oh,
yeah,
thank you
but
for
I
that.
put the graphic up on the screen.
Ah, I like this little setup you have here now.
See?
So $3.95 is one of my favorite local bands, but all of them are really good. They're put together by Nick Manu, who does the sound company. He used to live here in town, moved a couple months back, but he has an amazing sound system. He puts together a really good show. So we're just trying to get back to some sort of normalcy here. So we're doing a community concert. And it's free for the whole community.
It's a free concert. Free.
Well, everything we do is free.
Will it affect my taxes?
No, because this one, if the town gives us $7,000 to run every town event you have gone through for one fiscal year. So we've done pretty well. We've never been over budget, so nope.
So the concert in the park, 5 bands, there'll be a community yard sale, and our taxes will not be affected.
No, not this department. Nope.
Will the senior center build out be affected due to these concerts?
You had to go there, didn't you?
I am staying away from that topic as much as possible.
Had to go. Yeah.
Can you say that again, Ryan? Because all of a sudden Paul has decided he wants to be animated and talk.
Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we stay away from the senior center topic as much as possible. We're the youth center.
Will not.
Parks and Rec.
It has nothing to do with it.
Has nothing to do with the senior center. They are welcome to come because we always have tons of seniors at our event and in our programs too. But
What about the school budget? Will it raise the school budget?
The school, no, no.
So it is truly a free event.
Yes.
We did it.
I can't see anything you're doing because I'm on a phone, but I think you're clapping. So you're welcome, I guess. I'm not really sure.
Ryan Aubin putting together another free event here in. Will it affect the data centers coming to town? Yeah, let's not go there.
Staying away from all social aspects of this community as much as possible.
Will it affect the elections coming up in the fall?
Yes.
Will it affect tonight's town budget meeting?
Will it affect night sweats?
Will it affect Mike's blood pressure?
All right. So there it is, May 22nd. Just happens to be my daughter's 30th birthday too. So,
So on this event, since it's an open air event, then there's really no restrictions now, right?
Will masks be
We still have to do the cohort. So there's an area we're going to spray, basically it's kind of something that started in California and then everybody kind of picked up on it. But what you do is you spray, squares on the ground. That's your family bubble, basically. And then you stay in that area. We're not really expecting this event really only brings like less than 500 people in. It's not a big event at all. So we're not really worried too much about it. But we are going to be monitoring it. And there's no more rules. So capacity, we don't have to worry about. It's just trying to get everybody to, stay in their families, which they do naturally anyway. So,
yeah.
So we can do Hillfest.
You have to ask the first selectman to rent the park. I have nothing to do with that anymore either. So things have changed.
Way to pass the buck, Aubin.
Things have changed. So.
Well, I mean, I guess since it's an outside event now, there's no mask required and no social distancing. And if you had a shot, you're in good shape, right? Is that how it works?
Yep.
That's just the 19th?
Yep. I'm trying to listen. Sorry, I'm not trying to. Yeah,
that's all right.
Right.
I see you're outside with no mask, just sunglasses. So there you go.
I have a mask.
He's not around anybody.
Yeah, I know.
He's practicing for tomorrow.
Paul, you got a hot date or something? Because you want earbuds out, you pop them out of the.
Well, because they don't work, because I can't hear them that way anyway.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah. But the 19th, no, it's the 19th, not the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we've had some interesting guests today. I want to thank Tom Sinkewicz for joining us from the Board of Finance in Plainfield. Of course, Scott Davis from the Board of Finance in Griswold. And Ryan Aubin, who is apparently unemployed.
Been riding on his ATV.
On his ATV, just going, hey, Griswold.
Yeah, he's probably out on a mountain trail someplace.
I'm in a beautiful park called Veterans Memorial Park. I don't know if you see it.
All right. And of course, let's give him the proper. Ryan Aubin, the Director of Youth and Family Services here in the town of Griswold, talking about the event on May 22nd, which is the yard sale, community yard sale, and the big concert in Veterans Memorial Park. So, which will not affect anything that happens in this town. We've already discussed that. We gave Ryan a laundry list. It will affect nothing but your feelings.
Right. And it's free.
And it's free. Free. So thanks, dude.
No problem. See ya.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
All right, see ya. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us. Paul, thank you very much.
Yep.
Austin, thank you very much.
Of course.
And we will see you. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, right here on SNSN. It'll be Psychic Tuesday tomorrow. So we will see you then. Have a great night, folks.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, Project Coordinator of Grizzle Pride, your drug-free community coalition. We want to help you keep your kids safe during this challenging time. Social distancing is still in effect, and so is the social host law. Reports are coming in that teens are contracting the virus at underage drinking parties. Parents, allowing underage drinking on your property could land you in jail for up to a year, plus fines. Another reason why you should not provide alcohol to our youth. For more info, go to grizzlepride.org. grizzlepride.org. grizzlepride.org.
Gambling, tobacco, and alcohol are all legal for adults. For those under 21, providing these things can land you in jail. It's 21 for a reason.
Coming soon, visit SiracCT.org. The new online educational resource page, 21 for a Reason, is launching. This offers tips for parents, useful facts, and a pledge you can take to protect youth from substance use.
Brought to you by CIRAC and funded in partnership with SAMHSA. It's 21 for a reason. Find out more at SiracCT.org.